Anyone who knows of or is interested in bad cinema knows of Canon Films. In case you don't know, they were a group of companies who produced low budget films starting in 1967. However, they were more so known for their films in the 1980s, where they produced schlock films for a quick buck. However, in the mid 1980s, Golden Globus wanted to invest in a good film for once and poured a lot of money into the adaptation of the Colin Wilson novel, The Space Vampires. That film eventually became Tobe Hooper's Lifeforce, the best canon film by far. It's about a group of astronauts that find three bodies in a ship near Halley's Comet. They take them back with them to Earth, but for some reason the entire crew ends up dead. It's up to a group of scientists and the military to figure out why this happened and how the three bodies they found factor into everything. I think it's safe to say that the theme for this month is weird. James, for the first few years, always had a theme: history, Godzilla, camp, and so on and so forth. Here is oddity, because whenever I watch most of these movies, the first thing that comes to my mind is weird. While, yes, technically any horror film can be weird, but even something like Nightmare on Elm Street, it was weird, sure, but while watching, you don't think about the weirdness of it. With things like Behind the Mask, Videodrome, and Society, you can't help but think weird. Life Force is no exception. It's a weird ass fucking movie, but it's a great weird ass fucking movie. Despite tanking in the US domestic box office back in 1985, and the author of the novel calling it quote unquote the worst adaptation of any novel ever made, it has found its audience. Mainly because the UK version was such an improvement over the US version, as it had 15 more minutes of footage and used Henry Mancini's amazing score. When this was released in America after so many years, it's officially become a cult hit slowly but surely. Basically, this movie is a ton of fun to watch. Slow paced second half, some hammy acting here and there, but for the most part, a great sci fi horror film. There's a creepy aura and atmosphere throughout the whole thing, as well as some great effects, and, as I said, an excellent score, with some awesome acting and an engaging story. Matilda May was fantastic, and leaves such an impact on you, yet she's only in a few minutes of the film. She has a great eeriness about her that makes her creepy, yet you can't take your eyes off her when she's on screen. And no, it's not because she's nude throughout the entire thing. Steve Railsback and Peter Firth do a great job in the lead roles and are very likable. Firth is initially a kind of douchey military guy, but becomes more and more likable as the film goes on. Railsback also gives a very scared and tortured performance that you can't help but feel sorry for him. The effects were by the amazing John Dykstra, and the animatronics he did were extraordinary, along with the rest of the effects in the film. There's a great epic scale in the final act that is intriguing to watch unfold. Everything about this movie should be considered schlock, but miraculously, due to the passion of the cast and crew, and especially Tobe Hooper, it isn't. That's when you know you've made a great product.